Hey guys, back with another video. I was kind of pondering the other day and thinking about what everyone's thinking about, right? I mean, it fascinates me when I see people wherever I'm at just kind of staring off into space, and I'm always wondering, what are they thinking? And, you know, I want to ask you guys to ask yourselves, what are you thinking about all the time? And for me, and some of you might not have to do this, but for me, I have to get everything out of me. That's why I created a journal. That's why I journal. That's why I write all the time. I want to get it out of me on paper and look at it. And a really cool exercise that one of my mentors taught me a long time ago was when you have a problem, write it down on a piece of paper and then set it at a table and just sit there and look at it and ask yourself, is that problem in me or out of me? And then you can get up and move into a different chair and look at it from a different angle and think, if I was my dad or my uncle or whoever you look up to, how would they look at this problem? Would they see it the same way I'm seeing it? How would they look at it? Maybe they would be looking at it differently than me, right? And then you can go over to another seat and you can look at it from another angle. And you can really start to break this thing down to where it's not really that big of a problem. You've created it to be a problem because of the stories you've made up. You've put all this worry and anxiety into something that hasn't even happened yet. I see this all the time with people and money. I don't have enough money for my house payment, or I don't have enough money for my car payment, or the check's in the mail, but it's going to be late, right? And they're creating this story in their mind that they don't even know. I mean, it's imagination, and it's negative. Instead of just stopping and thinking, everything works out for my highest good. There is a supply for every demand. I'm not going to give this any energy. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is ruthless. It's the opposite of faith. It just destroys everything it touches. And people will say, well, you got to have a little bit of fear. I mean, you know, there's something could happen if I walked outside. Yeah, it could, but I'm not going to live like that. If it's my time, it's my time. I know that I'm one with God and that He loves me and I love Him and that I'm trying to do the best that I can do, and I'm going to live like that. I'm not going to create stories in my mind anymore now that I'm aware that that's what I used to do. I'm not going to give this thing energy. It hasn't happened yet. And do you know how many times I've stopped myself and I say, I don't accept that, and I go on with my business, and that thing just fades away. Works out perfectly. It actually works out better than I could have expected. All the time. Every day, pretty much, for me. I have things coming and going in the business or with my family or the neighbors or something, family member, something happens and I need to jump into action, and I don't give it any negative energy. And it works itself out. It is the most magical thing I've ever witnessed in my life. But it wasn't always like that. I used to give it lots of energy, and I used to start an inner dialogue, and I used to create a whole story on something and how bad it was going to be before it was even, I mean, it's crazy that we live like this. But that's our program. That's why we're programmed, right? We're infiltrated with negativity and fear constantly. You can hardly even find a show anymore that has good in it. Like real good, like honest good, right? There's always a villain or something showing us that not everyone's good. There's always bad people. Things don't always work out. There's lack and limitation, right? I just don't believe that anymore. Sure, that is going on, but it's not going on for me. Not anymore. Right? And when I was first learning and trying and studying, they used to say this stuff all the time, and I couldn't believe it. I could not fathom that is truth. I thought that they got smart enough and they removed themselves from these environments, and they got into these safe environments where things just didn't happen anymore. Well, that's not true, right? Most of them became business owners, and now they have more problems than they ever had, but they know how to respond to things. They know that things are going to work out. So they step back from the problem and they look at it and they think about it. And God will, or universe or Buddha or whoever will send an idea down float into their mind on a solution, right? And there's no fear attached to any of it. That's the most amazing part. Fear is the mind killer. We have to grasp this. Fear of the unknown. Fear that there's not enough. Fear that you're not enough. How could we ever think we're not enough? How did that happen? We are a soul in a meat suit. We are eternal. If I die tomorrow, just the meat suit. I'm not dying. My soul will go back to source and then do this again, or I don't know, whatever my next plan's going to be. Come back and try again, or whatever the scenario is, but it's the meat suit's going to die. And I know that sounds kind of harsh and might be kind of bizarre to some of you, but that's how I feel, right? The me that I'm talking about is my soul inside of me. Perfection. Amazingness. Now I have an ego attached to this meat suit that wants me to act tough and act cool and say the right things and impress everyone and not ask people for help and do everything on my own. And, all of these things that I've learned over time with my awareness that I don't need any of that, right? I need God. I need love. I need health. And I need happiness. And I need some money so that I can do the things that I love doing, right? Relationships to me are worth way more than money. If you have an amazing spouse, there's not much to worry about. If you spend time with your children and try to do the best that you can do parenting them, things usually work out. If you have friends that are amazing, true friends, you can lean on them when you need to, right? Everything can be stripped from me. I know the key now. I know the secret. I don't have to worry. I can start doing what I'm doing right now immediately again. And I'm off and running again. It's the most freeing thing I can explain. I mean, once you grasp this, everything changes. The fear's gone, the worry's gone, the lack of limitation's gone. You don't let it control you anymore. Doesn't matter if there's $2 in your bank account, more's coming if you need it. There is a supply for every demand. So you just say, I'm not accepting that. I'm not going to let fear control me. Period. I don't care, right? And you make this a habit by doing it every day, repetition, right? You push all of this old conditioning out of you. And pretty soon, it's your new personality. Your new personality is loving and kind and worry-free. A feeling of knowing that things are just going to work out. Where you're headed, you're going to eventually get there. And you don't have to worry about, you don't have a feeling of wanting things. You already feel like you have them, even if they're not visible yet. We have to stop these 5 senses: see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Those are the 5 crutches that are holding you back. Your senses are going to be telling you you don't have that result yet. You have to put those aside with a feeling and a knowing, yes, I do. It might not be in the physical yet, but I already got it in the mental and the spiritual. Just a matter of time till it shows up. So these things can be screaming at me all they want. I don't listen to them. I have it. It's mine. It has to be mine because that's what I want. I hope this is helpful. I just want you guys to understand where you're going to get to, right? I'm having you guys create fantasies and work on your attitudes and get up an hour early and do all of these things. Just that hour a day is 9 extra 40-hour work weeks. 9. Once you understand to get out of the competitive mode and get into the creative mode, you don't have to be in competition with anyone, I promise you. You do you, and you do what you love to do. There's room for everyone. It's amazing. And you just keep going, keep learning, keep thinking, keep smiling, keep understanding, keep becoming more and more aware of what you're trying to become aware of. And more will be brought to you to become more aware of. You're never going to know enough. You're never going to be smart enough, right? You're going to be learning till the end of time. You start taking action. You start doing things. You start walking through the terror barrier, right? You find an accountability partner. I'll do it if you can't find anyone, and I'll hold you accountable. And you walk through that terror barrier, and you keep taking action, and you keep learning more, right? And pretty soon your results change. And then you get this amazing feeling, right? And these thoughts, and it just is this perfect harmony. And then you take more action, and then the results change, and then you have another amazing, more ways to do what you're doing better. And then that goes down and it makes you vibrate more, and you take more action, and that result changes even more. And you just continually get better and better and better at what you're doing. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. I appreciate all of you. I really do. You guys have been great. I hope this stuff's, I mean, until people start communicating with me, I'm not really sure if you need a specific thing to talk about. I'm just going to keep talking about my experiences and the things I've learned and how I've been continually growing and striving and thriving. So thanks, guys. Please like and subscribe, hit your notifications. Yeah, there'll be more to come. Thanks, guys. Bye.